still thinks he's 4, but
We are live.
Oh, great.
Awesome. Yay. Let me just make sure that I see us real quick before I go into my spiel. Yep, okay, I see us. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This is part 6 of the Power in Pride celebration for Disability Pride Month, and today we are talking all about disabled creatives. I'm joined by some of my friends and fellow disabled creatives, but first let me do an image description. My name is Marie Dagenet Lewis. I am a pale-skinned woman with long dark hair, wearing glasses, a olive green shirt with a cute little ghost drawn on it, and I'm sitting in my office, aka my bedroom. And like I said before, we're talking all about how our disabled experience has influenced our creativity. And I want to hand it right over to my friends as I get the transcript started. So, Tylia, if you don't mind giving your introduction, that would be great.
Hi, my name's Tylia Flores. I am a 28-year-old with spastic diplegia, the most common form of cerebral palsy, but I never allowed it to take away from my will and determination. I'm a multiple-time published author and radio show host, personality, and inspiring film writer. And I'm currently wearing a camouflage dress, with my background being my Stomping on CP logo. I'm an Afro-Latina with caramel skin, brown eyes, and black hair.
Go ahead, Malik.
Oh, hello, everybody. My name is Malik Millington. I am a journalist with Caribbean Life News here in New York, and I am a light-skinned African-American woman with glasses, and I am wearing a black do-rag on my head, and I am wearing a white shirt, and it's kind of tie-dye-ish, and it's a Mexico shirt, actually, from and Cozumel is written on it in various colors.
Thank you so much. And next we're joined by Nicole. Nicole, if you don't mind giving your introduction, please, that would be great.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Nicole Demos. I am an international school teacher currently living and working in Helsinki, Finland, where it is 9 o'clock at night and it's daylight. I'm not appearing on camera, but what you see instead of me is a picture of my toy poodle Sisu with a checkered bow tie sitting in front of my old kitchen counter. And I, like Tylia, also have spastic diplegia. I've had it for the past 53 years. And as Marie knows, just recently, I finally embraced my disabled identity, and that has allowed me to work on my creative outlets that I've kept silent and hidden for a very, very long time.
I love it. I think that's the perfect way to segue into our conversation, honestly, because for me, as someone who's a disabled artist, I didn't become a disabled artist until I was able to accept my identity with that. I mean, of course, that makes sense, right? But it was so much more than just saying, like, I'm a disabled artist. Like, it was embracing so many parts of myself that I overlooked for so long, and like giving it a big hug in a sense, because for so long I had tried to avoid that part of my life, and I had tried to really hide that, but starting to become an artist who took all of my influence from my disabled experience, it made me find so much more pride and so much more joy in my disability. And so I would love to hear all about your journeys with art and your disabled identities. First off, what's your mediums? There's so many forms of art, and we heard like Tylia radio, we have journalism, like we have art. where you're painting. I'm a digital painter. And so I would love to just know, like, what types of arts do you guys create? Again, we'll start with you first, Talia.
Well, I am a published author multiple times, and I'm a radio show host personality. It wasn't until I found my passion for writing at 16 years old that I was finally able to accept my disability. And at 18 years old, I started Stomping on CP, which led to my radio show, the Stomping on CP radio show on Asheville FM. But at the same time, I advocate through that platform because radio and writing my books is my platform of embracing my disability and accepting it day by day. So, like, if it wasn't for me having cerebral palsy, I don't think I would be the writer and the broadcaster I am today.
I really feel that so much because, like myself, when I started embracing my disability, it made me realize that I wouldn't be who I was. I wouldn't be the creative person. I wouldn't be the person that is innovative. And so hearing you say how you're starting all of that made you actually like realize and made you understand that I don't even know what I'm saying. I just had a brain moment. I'm sorry. But I just really vibed with what you said because it's just so relatable. Malik, I would love to go to you as a disabled journalist and hear about how your mediums, all about your mediums.
First off, let me say I was born with CP, so it's been part of my life. And I, standard nerd. I always just grew up around books and just all things entertainment. I've always just been interested in, the news, and I would watch a lot of news programs growing up. So writing's just always been my main thing. So print, for me, journalism was just, I knew that I wanted to make an impact, and so journalism was the way that I could do that. And I knew that I wanted to focus on writing the most because that's where I'm most comfortable, although I have dabbled in audio and data, and I still dabble in video a little bit, but print is my main medium for journalism. So yeah, that kind of sums that up, I hope.
Yeah, thank you. Nicole, I would love to hear about all of the mediums that you work with, because I know you said that once you started to accept your disability identity, then you were actually being able to dive into that creative aspect of yourself. So I would love to hear more of that.
Okay. I think I've always thought of my teaching that I do, as I'm a teacher by profession, as part of my creative outlet, but moving towards what it's like for myself, I'm finding that I'm doing a lot more writing on my own. Granted, I don't have very many things published yet. Those are works in progress. It's a way for me to communicate how I'm feeling, what I've experienced, what my aspirations are. I am working on a children's book with a friend of mine that has been part of my journey and part of my story. So although I may not be the most experienced in sharing my creative outlets, I feel like I'm just at the beginning of my journey, but I'm inspired by words and actions of women and men like me and unlike me who are out there advocating. And while I do advocate for others within my teaching realm, I'm taking it one step further and also advocating for myself and letting it be known that a disability is not the end of it for any of us. It's the beginning of new journeys and new experiences. But when you strip it all down at the core, we're people with feelings and creative outlets. So if we can serve as a vessel for other people to find that joy, then that's great. I feel like the possibilities are opening up for me, and I'm willing to risk putting my words and actions and feelings out there, preferably right now in the written form. So that's where we're headed.
I'm so excited to see this journey and watch you just like blossom into whoever you want to be when it comes to your art. And you know, writing is like such a great way to start getting yourself out there with art, because people, I feel like when you think of art, you don't really think of storytelling as much, but storytelling is one of the most powerful forms of art, because that's how we can actually inspire action, we can inspire advocacy, we can inspire change if we're able to connect people through storytelling. So I think it's so powerful to be a writer and to share your words like that. And we have so many writers here, so I'm really excited about that. Talia, how do you use your writing to communicate your disabled experience?
Well, I just think back to my early years, and particularly my childhood, my teenage years, and now that I'm halfway through my mid-20s, whenever I go through a new experience in life and I age another year, I write a new autobiography, which I'm coming out with another one. It's called Cerebral Palsy, Still an Undiscovered Beauty, and it goes into an update of my life today, and that is available on Amazon for pre-order if those who are interested in buying it. But every year I write books based on my life story, and I just finished a tween series about a boy in middle school who finds his passion for writing, and that was based on my years growing up in middle school as the girl that just wanted to find her way. Although I found writing later on in life when I was 16, I write based on my experiences, and when it comes to radio, I do the same thing now. Radio, I started when I was 14 as a hobby at my friend Christopher Wash's house. We had a little studio and we would go on Blip FM and mix music together. And then that passion came back to me at 21 when I got the opportunity to make Stomping on Cerebral Palsy into a radio segment. And here I am, 6 years later. So
it's so awesome how the universe just works, you know, and just to see the growth and to see the journey. Like, I'm so excited to see how much farther you're going to go to with radio, because if you've gotten this far with 6 years, like, I'm so excited.
thank you.
And with the with sharing our experiences and using our experiences as an inspiration, I feel like that's how we're able to create that representation that's so important for every single generation. Like writing for the tweens, which is great because growing up, there was never any book where characters were disabled that were strong, empowered, and it made you feel represented. Like I never saw myself in any type of literature. I never saw myself in pop culture. And so it's like the power that you are making when it comes to that representation, it's so insurmountable. And I'm really glad that you keep doing it.
Thank you. And that was another reason why I got into the world of literature and film writing, because when I used to watch Disney Channel as a kid, or any of the shows that us 90s kids grew up on, I saw no representation of me whatsoever. So I'm like, I need to change this and I need to fix this. So right now I'm also working on pitching a show to a network called My Disabled Life, and it's basically my life in a series.
That's awesome. We need so much more stuff like that, and I hope that they accept it because I can't wait to see disabled life on TV, just normalized, just like everyone else's life. Lee, I'm wondering, how has your experience growing up disabled shaped your career now as a writer?
Well, as I said earlier, I grew up loving writing. English was and is like one of my favorite subjects growing up at school, and so that was the best way that I expressed myself. And so just in terms of how that shaped my experience as a journalist, it's pretty much the center of it all, pretty much. And I, like Talia, I actually started doing journalism stuff in high school. Actually, I was a sophomore in high school when I wrote stuff for my first my high school paper at the time. It is no longer active, but that was the first kind of bit of experience I had. And so I just knew from the age of 10, I actually knew what I wanted to do with my life, which sounds kind of crazy and weird, but I'm the type of person that thinks ahead a lot, so that was normal for me. So yeah, once high school came, I took a journalism class, like as an elective, and it was just amazing, and I just knew that I wanted to keep going. And so here I am now, working with some Caribbean Life News, and covering the standard stuff, except for like crime related stuff, just because I'm not comfortable with that. But the standard stuff, so like local news, politics, and just like entertainment, business stuff, stuff like that, and also disability. So yeah.
Can I just brag on you for a second, because you are a reporter in a top 1 market. Like, it is. I remember it was so like people always wanted to be in. When it comes to news, you always want to be in the higher market. Top 1 is New York, and that is like the end all be all. And so you're not just a reporter; you're a reporter in New York, Evans City, dude. Like, that is so awesome and so powerful to have that representation in Market 1. So I just had to brag on you for a second.
Yeah. And I should also say, being in print, print is one of the least popular mediums for journalism with our technological advances and stuff, technology being the beast that it is, and TV. I just knew that I wanted to make an impact with my writing, and also change that statistic of like the print medium being the least liked or least popular in with people that want to get into the field. So yeah, it's kind of a 2-for-1 yeah, I'd say it's a 2-for-1, because it's more than just not reporting, not necessarily for myself, but for the community that I live in, and for the people that identify with the identities I identify with. So yeah, it's not the easiest job, but then again, nothing in life ever is. But it is very, very, very rewarding. So, and I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it. So,
Glad that you're here doing it. I really am. And thank you so much, by the way, for writing that article on the Power and Pride celebration.
yeah,
Fighting.
no problem. Yeah,
So
there's actually another one on the way from Saturday's session. So
thank
there's
you
that
so
coming up.
much. See, this is like the power of having disability representation in all fields. Disabled journalists they'll highlight disabled events and things that are more important to the disabled community. Like it means so much to me that you do that, and thank you, because there's not a lot of people out there that are doing it. So that's like allyship in action to me.
Yeah, I'm honored. I'm part of the community myself, so I have my own experience, and so I can kind of relate to some of the stuff. And so yeah, I'm honored to represent the communities that I represent just by existing. So yeah, again, and thank you for all that you do, because this is just 3 years running. I mean, come on.
I know.
Just amazing.
I just want to say thank you for all you do too, and thank you for being a great representation for the African American community and being a reflection of who we are as people.
Yeah, that's part of it, just representing the communities I identify with and the community I live in, and just letting people know that disabled people are human. We have lives. We intersect across all different races and genders and all sorts of things, and we deserve to be treated as people. And so at the moment, I'm just going to plug my master's project for a bit. Marie, I'm going to share the information with you afterwards, just in case you want to plug it. But yeah, I did my my master's project centered on the disability community, and just the work challenges going on with that, and just and COVID and how that impacted the effectiveness of being able to work. And so that it's been a year actually since it's been publicly available, like to download and read the text. So I mean, just to see the reach that it's gotten in a year, it's just impressive. So I'll share that post with you, Marie, so that you can add it to like your the description or whatever, the video notes or whatever. So yeah, but yeah, I'm honored to be here with you all. So.
Exactly. Had to hand off the drink. Well, I would love to hear from you a little bit on just everything that we've been talking about. If you want to speak on any of that, or if you'd like to just share your experience with like how, with how your disability is shaping your creativity. I'd love to give you the chance to speak.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, I just want to thank the three of you for giving me this opportunity to be part of this series. Number one, this is a whole new experience for me, and I really appreciate that, because I feel that it's important that no matter how old you are or what you've experienced, it doesn't being part of something like this where you're openly accepted and appreciated for what it is that you do and where you've been. Not only is it powerful, but it's also very freeing, because I know that I can be myself. I know that I don't have to act a certain way or speak a certain way. I can share my experiences. I can share the journey that I've taken to embrace my identity without being ridiculed or judged or patronized. And that's a message that I choose to bring when I speak at conferences, when I speak to my students within the classroom, where I hope it comes across in my writing. I'm not saying that I'm a professional by any means, but so that really means a lot to me. And it's kind of shaped my vision for where I want to go next and my desire to just continue on, because I think it's really important that internationally, all people who have any sort of disability feel like they're valued and appreciated in whatever way, shape, or form that is. And I think that there's freedom and power in numbers and unified voices, and it doesn't matter where we live, where we come from, what we feel. So thank you, all three of you, for what it is that you do and how you lead the way for those of us who are older and those who are much younger, who look up to all of us and say, okay, if they can do it, imagine what we could do if we have those same tools and those same opportunities, as well as the desire to keep fighting, as well as the desire to keep advocating, as well as the desire to be resilient. Because I'm sure we've all experienced times when it's really, our situations are not the best, but we fight because we know that we can, and we have a network of people behind us that support us no matter what. And
yes, totally.
It's really, really
1,000%.
I can't even, although you can't see it, I'm close to tears, but they're happy tears, because this is such a warm opportunity to be a part of something like this. So thank you.
We're glad to have you here, and congratulations on all your accomplishments. Same thing with you too, Marie.
Likewise. Yeah,
Same
thank
thing
you.
with you too, Marie. And I guess it comes to show that with our creativities, we could still be advocates and we could change the world. I mean, even though I'm in dire pain today and I could barely move my swan finger, I'm moving my swan finger today on that keyboard, because I know I have a story to tell, and one day my story could be someone else's survival guide.
Yeah,
For sure.
it's true. It's true.
Yeah, and I feel like with for people that know me outside of just from life, I've always been, a writer, and I knew that just with my work, with all that I've done already, I just hope that my articles kind of serve as a imprint on the impact I'm making, for years to come, for as long as I'm in the field and beyond. Even when I pass on, I just want that to be like my not necessarily my story, but my impact that I've made being part of the community. So
Oh, it will.
And I think it's really important to know that we may not even realize the impact we have on people. You know, that's also really important to consider, because
Yes.
I think if we, because of technology, because of the written word and the spoken word, even though for some people they might not be willing to accept that impact right now, we still keep doing it with the hope that someday they would, or they could, or they may. And I think that's so incredibly uplifting and empowering, and drives more of the passions.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I could be having a bad day and I'm wondering, why am I doing all of this? And I'm worn out, my body's tired, I can't type, my jaw's tight. And those would be the days where I get the emails from my readers of children, teens, young adults. I even had a son of a father with cerebral palsy write me after he read one of my poems and said, "Thank you, Tylea. You just spoke the words for my nonverbal father." Yeah. And he was 73, and I cried.
Yeah.
So
that's beautiful.
So I agree with Nicole right there.
Like, I love how with art, it's eternal. When you create that writing, when you create that piece of that artwork, when you tell that story, it exists in perpetuity. Okay, I can't say that word. I don't even know why I just tried. It lives forever on the internet, you know? Like, it's kind of like back in the day, in the ancient times, when the sculptures exist, they still exist today. Art's going to be existing for so long, and that impact, like you said, Nicole, we'll never know truly the impacts that we make. And I'm so appreciative for everyone, because I didn't know the impact really that Power and Pride makes, and so just hearing how much this means and what it is, it's like I can't wait to do this again next year. It's so awesome. So I really appreciate all of you guys. And I have to update the transcript, so I'm going to stop talking. And if somebody else can, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I would have to go back to what Marie just said. Like, what we do, writing, being creative, that's gonna last hundreds and hundreds of years. Like, I think of that every time I publish a book. Like, how is this book going to be impactful for the next hundreds of years? And how am I going to advocate not only for me, but for the next generation of people with CP? Because it's not just about me. It's about the next generation after us.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that goes across, that's just across the board with all types and all variations of disabilities in general. And yeah, and yeah, I just hope that my my master's project and all my journalistic work that is online, and I just hope that it continues to just blow up and just make a positive impact out there in the world. So
yeah. Me too.
And I think it's equally important that even if it doesn't make an initial positive impact and it makes a negative impact, it's bringing awareness.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
It's bringing something to the forefront that has been kept hidden or under wraps, or nobody wants to talk about it, or it's glamorized, or it's that hallmark moment where we see the person with the in the wheelchair. Oh, isn't that great? We should pity them, when in actual fact, no, that's only part of who they are. And they deserve the respect that anybody else does.
I completely agree with you there, Nicole. That's why I kind of got into the world of literature, because I was tired of the misconceptions about cerebral palsy, especially when it comes to adults. You see all this stuff for the kids, but when it comes to the adults, it's like society doesn't care about the adults anymore. I mean, just look at the healthcare system for us.
Yeah, you're right. And it's not only in the United States, it's becoming global. I can say this for living in Finland.
I have to connect with you after this because I'm currently journaling I'm currently looking for a hip reconstructive doctor to correct my hip dislocation. And I've been journalizing this whole journey for the past 5.5 years, and it's been a rocky one, but I hope to publish the book after I find a doctor and after I get the surgery.
Well, let us know where your books are, and Millette, I'm so glad to be able to connect with you and look at all the articles that you've written, and Marie with your artwork. You know, I think we just need to keep uplifting each other and encouraging others to not be afraid to join us, you know, like so many have before us, and hopefully so many will after us. It's so important. And even for those of us, I don't know about you guys, but you know, if you have still family members and friends that don't really understand this whole concept of disability pride, and why do you need a month, and why should you be out there, and why are you using these terms so freely, and why are you suddenly using that where you never had before? Well, I think we should.
Yeah,
and it's only a month. It's every day now for me, and I'm not going to apologize if people that I knew or still know feel uncomfortable about it.
Yeah, and it shouldn't. I mean, sure, it's a month legally. It's a month, but it's all year round, pretty much all around the world. People are.
I agree. You know, a lot of the times I get the same question: why are you so prideful about your disability? Why are you so unapologetic? Because I'm like, okay, this is my life. This is me. If you don't like it, stomp out the doorway.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think people understand the importance of like able-bodied people. Like, I know a lot of able-bodied people that didn't even know that this month was Disability Pride. They're like, but why is it so important? I'm like, because it allows us to celebrate as a community that's full of diversity, inclusion, and acceptance.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm so happy. I was watching Disney Junior with my dog because he likes the show Bluey, and Disney put a promotion for Disability Pride Month, and I almost cried.
That's great. They should have done that years ago.
Yeah. So, like, the world's coming around now, and I wish I was still a kid because I would get all the new Barbies with the accessible dollhouse and all that fun stuff.
You can still get them. I mean,
yeah, but I don't have a niece. I have a nephew. I gotta find nephews to buy
it. You know, that inner child, you can still buy yourself those toys even if you don't play with them. That's something my husband's taught me, that like as adults we can heal that inner child in a sense and get ourselves the toy that we didn't have when we were growing up. Like, you deserve that wheelchair Barbie, dude.
Like, I had the original Becky, but she was Caucasian and she had blonde hair. She didn't come in like the shade she comes in now. And they didn't have a disabled Ken.
Yeah, well, I can tell you guys that when I was growing up in a foreign country, there was absolutely nothing available. Absolutely nothing available. So I'm all for buying the toys.
Oh yeah, now they have the Barbies with the hearing aids now. I'm like, oh
yeah,
my God.
I saw that one. The Mattel one.
Yeah, and the Hot Wheel one Who's that guy with spina bifida that skates on his wheelchair? Aaron something. I forget his name, but Hot Wheels did a remote control of his wheelchair, and I'm getting it for my nephew for Christmas.
Awesome.
And I love the fact that now, publications and magazines and commercials are openly using people with disabilities to promote their products, not just as a one-off, but as a constant, which I think
on a regular,
on a regular basis, because that again brings an awareness. That again says, you know what, we're here to stay. We're not going away. We're not gonna hide. We're not gonna be like the hidden secret, even though there's always going to be people that are going to not believe in us and believe in our words and believe in what we do, but we still have to keep going.
Yep, you hit the words on the nail there, Nicole. Like I remember being in Target and I saw the Dove bottle with the boy in a wheelchair and I screamed, and my mom's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Look."
Yeah.
That's the beauty of representation. Sorry, go ahead, Millette. I think I just cut you off.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to us all for just, fighting. I've had to just fight for my right to live, period. So I know for us NICU folks, I feel y'all, man. We've had to fight from jump, and just existing as disabled folks. We're human. We need to be treated respectfully as such. And I just hope that all the work that we all do, that's the people that don't really get it start to get it. So
yeah, I have the same hopes too, and like disability lives matter, and disability rights are human rights. So
so important. And also I'm really sorry, Lily, I pronounced your name wrong earlier, so I'm so sorry for that. But really, human right, like I don't understand why people don't understand the whole disability rights as human rights things. I don't get the disconnect, and that's something I can just never understand.
Me neither. And that's also why I write, to break the stigmas. Like I've written books that feature characters in my exotic novels where the main characters with cerebral palsy, they do get sexual, because I want people to know that does happen, and that's why I did the documentary with Scene TV a year ago.
That's what's so important about being a disabled creative, because you create that representation that is missing and that really shows the world this is how life actually is. And I can only imagine how excited people will get when they read your book and they see themselves reflected in it.
I love it.
I saw that you unmuted your mic. Malik, would you like to say something? And then I saw Nicole tried to talk to you and I just cut her off. So we'll go to Malik and then Nicole.
Yeah, Talia, if you could just share, you guys already know. I made it clear I'm a book nerd, so anything, any book that's got, substance and an interesting story, I'm down for it. So, okay. Talia, if you could share like the if you have like a web page or an Amazon author page with all your books, I would love to have it so that I could share it with my networks elsewhere, just so they can kind of get to know your stuff, because that's just incredible.
Yeah, me too, please.
Oh, I will. I'll send you guys all that information in my website and everything. Nicole, I don't know if you're on Facebook. Facebook's the primary that I use mostly.
Yes, I am.
So you could add me on. You could find me on Facebook and
Absolutely.
add me, and we could connect there. But this is the beauty about this event, is that we're all connecting and we're all coming together as creatives. And I'm sorry, Marie, that I'm rambling. This is your event. I'm sorry, I just get really overexcited. It's my ADHD.
Are you kidding me? Please keep talking. You are making my heart so happy. Do not apologize at all. I'm loving this conversation and it makes my soul so happy.
That's another thing too. I also have cerebral palsy, but I also have ADHD. So with that, I have to represent both disabilities, and I suffer from mental health. So writing has been my outlet for all those things. So like if I didn't have writing, I probably would have to fight harder to want to be alive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. And then again, Marie, I'm going to share all my links and the post that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, thank you again, you guys, for all that you do, and I look forward to listening in and watching next year. Please keep doing this. Please promise. Please.
I promise.
Doing this, even when we're all like full-grown adults, and well, when we're older and we all just keep moving on with our lives. Please keep this alive, because if it dies, a crucial part of the connection is going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of Judy and all that she did, this is like I'd say this is like Judy 2.0.
Yeah, totally.
This is Judy living through us and all that we do. So please keep this alive.
I promise there's going to be a 4th year and a 5th year, and we'll just keep doing it as long as people like to do it with me. Then we'll just keep doing it, because it's all about the community, and it's all about everyone sharing their stories and getting as many disabled experiences out there as we can. So I love you all so much. I truly appreciate you all so much for being here, and I want to spend our last few minutes celebrating each and every one of you. So like we've talked about our links and stuff throughout the event, but if we can like give our handles, where can we find you? How can we support you? Or do you have any projects that you're working on that we can support you in now? I'll start with you, Nicole.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter at NextDemos. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on LinkedIn. And some of the projects that I'm working on is a website for educational advocacy and my children's book, and hopefully some more writing, and being able to go back to my job, which is teaching. I have not been able to work since I got ill after a keynote speech in March. So I'm very, very eager to get literally back in my own wheelchair so I can function. So that's where everybody can find me. And I'll take as many good vibes as I can, and I'll give as many good vibes to you guys as well.
Just about to say, I am sending you all the vibes I can and all the luck I can, my friend.
Thank you.
Yes, I hope you get better. I hope you heal, hopefully soon, and you can get back out there and get back to teaching and all your advocacy stuff.
Thank you. I'm going to give it a whirl.
I hope you get better. You're really awesome, and you stomp on CP very awesomely.
Well, I'm glad to join you on the Stomping on CP. I love that tagline. I love it, love it, love it. And if there's any way I can listen to your radio show, there has to be a way.
Oh yes, you can listen to that on Spotify,
Oh, great.
Anchor, Apple Podcast, Amazon Podcast, or wherever you please.
Yeah, Tylea, where can we find you? Where can we support your work? Because you just started on your podcast, but I know you have so much other stuff out there too.
Well, you can find me on my website at www.tyleaflores.com. You can find me on Facebook at Stomping on Cerebral Palsy with Tylea. You can find me on Twitter at Stomping on CP1. And you could also find me on LinkedIn, Instagram is Stomping on Cerebral Palsy with Tylea, and Threads is the same. I have to get used to saying that now. Thanks, Maida. And did I miss any sites? No, I didn't miss any sites.
Yeah, and for me, I have a ton. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Mastodon, which is a Twitter alternative, Force, which is a platform specifically for journalists, Clubhouse, although I tend to listen in on stuff from time to time, but I don't like host rooms or anything, but all that, there's all those. And then I will share all my my master's project information. It's in Marie. I have the post. It's pinned on my Instagram. I think I'll check and I'll get that to you. But yeah, I'll share that. It's all in a link tree, so I'll share that one link for all my stuff. And so yeah, thank you again, everybody, for having me, and thank you for all that you do. And Marie, I'm giving you to your word that you're going to keep this going for as long as possible, because I mean, this is just,
as long as I'm here.
it's incredible.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you. And I can't even honestly put into words how much it means to me knowing that you guys really appreciate our time. So thank you so much. And we will be continuing. We still have 3 more Power and Pride celebrations this month. Our next one is on the the 22nd with Disability Advocacy in Action, and I'm really excited for that one. So we're going to be talking all about actually putting action behind our advocacy work. Then we have ableism in the workplace on the 26th, and we'll be closing out the month with trauma healing from the Ableist Society on the 29th. And Disability Advocacy in Action is on the 22nd. So closing out the month in style, of course, with Power and Pride, and I can't wait to see everybody on the 22nd. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.